Alright, we're going to read chapter 53 of Bakemonogatari. Araragi in the mouth of the snake. We are deep into the Nadeko snake arc. Araragi has learned the true name of the enemy that besets them, the abnormality, the Jigiri Nawa. The common name for the Reptilia squamata serpentes. Its features are its long tubular shape and the scales which covers the body. It has several hundred bones and can freely twist its body. This is a snake. The dictionary definition, perhaps. So if you're not wrong, it's a snake. The way, such an ominous impression. Way creepier than the crab and the snail. A creepy, creepy snake. Snakes and humans have a long kind of shared history. It's really quite fascinating to look at the role of snakes in various cultures. It's one of the more universally negative ones. Of course, the most famous probably being the serpent in the Garden of Eden, which tempts Eve into eating the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. So I often wonder, okay, because there's kind of two things I know. I know about the cultural history of snakes, which is, as I said, long and very negative. And then I've also heard a lot of theories about eyesight in snakes and the development of kind of sensory input in snakes. That when they've done studies, humans can detect snakes at like an abnormally high speed and rate. And it's been suggested that, oops, what have I just done? It's been suggested that one of the reasons that our eyes evolved to be able to handle such detail and to have such precise object separation and recognition was to spot snakes in kind of camouflaged into the ground way back in our early days of hunting in the Great Plains of Africa. And that to me makes a lot of sense. You know, that's a very, very important thing to be able to see and to be able to recognize instantly. So I wonder then too if snakes were not just kind of this like silent evolutionary priority, but were like a major cultural priority too. Like if people were just like always talking about snakes, like, oh man, watch out for them dang snakes, man. My friend got bit by a snake. Like this kind of insertion of snakes simultaneously as there being this sort of primordial threat. I don't know. All right, whatever. Let's just move on. I just think it's kind of fascinating. And I know in Monogatari there's quite an emphasis on the cultural role that animals or different legends have had, and what I really like is kind of the conflation and the connection of lots of different stories like that, such that you can find kind of the true path of that oddity through its different representations and stuff, even if they're linked only by like pun or whatever other kind of arbitrary circumstance. Because I think that's like very legit. Like I think that's actually how a lot of cultural development happens and how a lot of like memetics happens. So anyways, I recommend, you know, thinking about this sort of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Okay, all right, let's move on. Let's learn about the snake. Jagiri, snake cutting. Janawa, snake rope. Hebinawa, also snake rope. Hebikiri, a snake cut. Hebikiri nawa, a snake cutting rope. In some places, it's called kuchinawa, another name for a snake. Well, I know what snake is. But why rope? Male and female snakes tangle their bodies together when mating. They look like a rope. People say that's where the shrine ropes come from. Long ago, snakes were objects of worship. Interesting, interesting. I think how I mentioned something like that. Snake, the Kita Shira Hebi Shrine, the northern white snake shrine. It's the central worship area of the local snake god here. Eat the mice who eat the grains and other hindrances. Ah, not deified because of their amazing vitality. Professor wanted to keep it a secret from you. She put her food on instead. You walk around, you drag a whole lot of trouble with you. It's like interesting to think what would have Hanekawa done if she was the one that went to go put the Ofuda on. She wouldn't have recognized Sengoku if she ran into her. she may not have noticed the insane, terrifying snake ritual site because Araragi only found that because he was running around everywhere looking for Kanbaru. Maybe things would have just I don't know what would have happened. A fun hypothetical, but we really can't speculate too much. Although the series does encourage us to speculate on such things, because of course there's the time travel arc. I hope I didn't spoil too much. Anyways, okay. Hanekawa's paid her debt already. Did she? Maybe so. Ha ha ha. Snakes only seem evil to me. Only not evil snake is the Tuchinoko. So this is the fat snake. This is like a... Even though it doesn't seem that interesting to me, oh, it's a fat snake. Whatever. And it seems very obvious that, like, people saw a snake digesting something really big, and they thought it was some mythical animal. It's some myth. But yeah, isn't it supposed to just... It's not, like, evil or dangerous at all. It's just this fat snake. Tried looking for that thing whenever I wanted, buddy. Couldn't find anyone. He's so bitter. This is like such a rare shot of Oshino being so like regretful about such a stupid thing. Yeah, it seems really out of character that he would believe in such a thing, that he would actually hunt it. Phrase that says measure in sun, gulp a person down, and most of them do that, right? Snakes. That is like, if it's the same measurement as sun, which is apparently 3.03 centimeters, then the snake is large enough to open its jaws around it and gulp it down. I think, is what that's saying. So it's just kind of saying, like, I don't know, I'm not sure what that expression actually means. It's from what I'm hearing, but Nadeko-chan, your sister's old friend, someone else, right? Why do you have to save every single person out there? She's got nothing to do with you, right? Ooh, see? The way this theme is developing from character to character, it's so nice. I don't know. These little aspects of the storytelling, I think, are so well done. That make this so much more interesting than just like the string of supernatural events, you know? People only help others because of their own selfish reasons, right? Just never of any use at all. Yeah. So this is kind of two things that Araragi can't really explain his motives. We can speculate as to what his hidden motives are here, perhaps. And then also, he's definitely aware that in several of these cases, he did not help at all. Like, especially with the Kanbaru one, right? Again, kind of thinking hypothetically. Like, what would he have done? How would it have gone if he just left Kanbaru alone? If he had told Senjogohara the truth, Kanbaru tried to attack me, but you know, like I'm gonna try to stay out of it. And then she just took care of it. It would have been easy. Nobody would have had to get hurt. People get involved with abnormalities once, do everything in their power to avoid them. They do their best not to get involved. They're taking care of their ancestors' memorial services. Never go to dangerous places by instinct. I've lived as a vagrant for a long time. It's the first time I've talked like this with a single person. So I guess the real abnormality of Araragi's abnormalities is that after the first encounter, after the first time with the vampire, that he did not vow to do absolutely everything he could to stay as far away from as possible from the supernatural going forward. But, as they've also said many times, the supernatural is drawn to the supernatural. Once you've gone through the looking glass, once you've seen what's behind the curtain, you're much more likely to get into more supernatural situations. So Araragi kind of running into these opportunities to engage with the supernatural, to meet another abnormality, isn't that unlikely. It's the fact that he still runs full tilt into those situations and doesn't back off is what's so strange. Senjogohara was smiling recently. Oh god. No, not like that. That does count as a smile. I think she's the kind of girl who smiles a lot underneath. That's why being with her is fun. Why is Araragi bringing up this sentimental story at such a time? I guess he's trying to admit that deep down, he just really likes these people. That he really just wants to spend more fun time with them. And Shikuchi is super fun. She kicks me with full force sometimes, but I pay her back. Amber is amazing since she's the school star. Amazing but a lewd, moron, moronic and fun. And here, Oshino is smirking. See, at first he's just like, eh. But then, once he starts getting into the other girls, he's like, alright. I see how you are, you dirty dog. Just happy things turned out that way. At least the kid ended up that way. Abnormalities have nothing to do with it. Why didn't you mention Hanikawa? I mean, I guess because we haven't had the Hanikawa arc yet. But like, chronologically, he's already had the Hanikawa arc. The one that's the flashback in Bakemonogatari Black. So it's like, come on, man, you should reminisce about that too. Come on, poor Hanekawa. Completely helpless, and that still holds true. Now, even if it's just a little, if I could just let those girls experience half, no, 1/10 of that same feeling I have, then you don't care about the danger to yourself. Is that it? Oh, Oshino understands. Not a friendly guy. Ooh, active isolation. I guess he heard about this too. So this is really cool to me, that it's like, Araragi actually changes quite a bit over the stages of his life. But when we meet him in Bakemonogatari, he's already just recently had a pretty major change in how he lives. And we get to see kind of the development and blossoming of that, as he almost kind of like too eagerly puts it in effect. And it isn't until you see Kizumonogatari, which of course takes place before Bakemonogatari, that we learn about the previous Araragi, the one that he kind of alludes to, which was such a loner, didn't have any friends, who actively avoided friends, the act of isolation, to become more powerful. Having friends makes you weaker. So, yeah, I think that's very interesting. And then, you know, before that, we find out what made him adopt that philosophy with Sodachi and stuff. And then as the series progresses, we start to see Araragi change once again, and then kind of start having more kind of coherent priorities and stuff. Anyways, it's all very cool to me. But yeah, human strength goes down when you have friends or something like that. Oshino remembers. He still remembers. He remembers thinking, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh, look at Araragi's face when he's forced to confront his edgy past. Oh. Tell me how to fix the snake abnormality, old man. So this is kind of weird because I feel like the reader right here is quite disconnected from what Araragi wants. Usually the reader and Araragi are quite in sync in terms of information, such that Araragi like learns about something, we're trying to puzzle it out, he's trying to puzzle it out, he goes to see Oshino or whatever. But here, it's like we're not sure why he's convinced there's a snake abnormality at all, right? Like all we saw was Sengoku passes out. We don't know what happened after that. All right, see, here we go. 2 hours earlier. 2 hours earlier. Take me to an empty room. Sengoku Nariko had said she had something to show us. Yeah. That dirty, dirty room. All right, so they go to the Araragi household, of course. First time going into a guy's private room. Never took a girl into my room before. Why do my first events always turn out like this? Oh, Araragi. He's had some great faces this chapter. Just the blitz of embarrassment. Where's the porn? No! That event triggers when your guy friends come to hang out. She doesn't have the right... Ah, yeah, that's true. I've seen that event so many times with the guy friends. But this, yeah, she's not in the right role. If I find out what your tastes are, my trip will not be fruitless, I think. She says it so seriously. Oh, it's so good. It is fun chatting with her. You're a living dangerous slimy. And just sit there and jump out the window, pick one kangaroo. The whole time there's a middle school girl with them. She doesn't need to be hearing about any of this. Kidding. Of course I was joking, Araragi-kun. I figured them out back when I was stalking you. The way she could like casually now reference that period where she was stalking him all the time is quite insane. What kind of books he bought Araragi-senpai? He was in the store back then. I actually made sure. Oh, see, this is the trick though. She probably wasn't actually stalking him in the bookstore. But now he's admitted that there is some sort of book that he was embarrassed to buy. Oh, or does she actually know? Tell any girl about your fetishes, they want to jump out the window just to flee. So I can do that stuff. No. A full body latex magazine. Okay. Zentai mag. Zentai. What would that mean? In my room, shiso na. Cheerfully, basically. Something has gathered. I don't know, whatever. So this whole time, what is Sengoku thinking? She's just kind of creepily huddled away there in the corner, laughing. Trying not to laugh, but laughter bursting out of her. Changed a lot, claiming on This girl, when she smiles, how should I put it? Super cute. Yeah, I think that's all you're left with. That's really all you can say in such a situation. Do you mind if you face the other way for a moment? Okay. So, they turn away. And Kanbaru apologizes? The heck? Can't be right. That can't be right. Just want to kick the excitement up a notch there. You're doing this for her, so bear with it. This goes like it many times before. Dangerous territory. This goes wrong. She might end up cutting her own snap. So this is kind of interesting. Like, Kanbaru has been through quite a lot. She knows what it's like to be bullied. And I think kind of from her position in the school, she has a very clear picture of kind of the hierarchies of sociality and kind of the struggles of people way down below, having been on kind of both ends of it herself. So even though she's joking around and stuff, the fact that she knows that this girl has been getting those notes, has been doing these rituals with them, is actually probably affecting her quite a bit. And is why she's making all these jokes and stuff. Like, why she's so on the offensive right now, I think. Alluding to cutting her own wrists. Wondering perhaps if that's happening right now. Cutting wrists. Yeah. Okay. But, of course, what is it instead? It's just make it Sengoku. Yeah, and that's how the chapter ends. Let's see if we can read what it says in Japanese here. That may be interesting. Heya ni koyoe kanbaru nadeko tozen no rashin. Okay, so inside the room, ko kanbaru. Koyoe. Oh, Koyomi. Koyomi. Sorry, I was misreading it. Yeah, I know that kanji. Koyomi. Koyomi, Kanbaru, Nariko. The three of them. Inside the room. Totsu Zen no Rashi. It's like, what kind of thing are they thinking about, I think? Nareko no misetai mono to wa So it's like, what is the thing that Nariko wanted them to see? All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see what happens next. There's a cool illustration here. We just have chapter 54 and 55 now, and we're caught up. The Sengoku arc marching onwards. All right.